great to be at the Performing Arts Center, and we really appreciate the city always promoting and involving the artists in the community and highlighting them. What we do typically is usually behind the scenes, so people don't always get to see, my whole portfolio or body of work. So it's really great to be able to show everything we do, which is kind of a little bit of everything, but it's all corporate and commercial. So I have from architecture to advertising to industrial photography products, as well as some personal works that we've done when we've traveled photography, some Milky Way galaxy photography, that kind of thing. I love to travel. That's a really big part of my life. And I wanted to start to incorporate the places that I've been able to go, been fortunate enough to be able to travel to, and be able to kind of do personal projects and photograph and document those places and showcase them in a way that's a little more artistic instead of just a snapshot with my phone. So with the Milky Way or galaxy photography, I actually ended up going to a seminar, and it was like a workshop weekend. And I traveled to Joshua Tree out in California. We actually spent the night on the racetrack playa under the stars, and it took, I don't know, maybe 3 hours to photograph what we photographed out there, but it was an amazing experience. I also went to Joshua Tree and did a similar workshop with the same instructor. I'm looking to hopefully get to Iceland to do another one. I'd love to do the Northern Lights up there and just experience that culture. So I love to bring together the photography that I do and the travel and culture of other regions outside of Springboro. So my background in education and photography, I actually was self-taught in the beginning. On that journey, I was taking photos of my kids and friends and family, and that morphed quickly into a business. I found I was pretty good at it, but then once I started really rolling, I really fell in love with the commercial advertising world. I've always been in some sort of marketing department when I was working before, so it was really natural for me to just go into that commercial world. I, along the way, have used a lot of resources for workshops and training, especially with Professional Photographers of America. So they have a really rigid schedule where you can get your certified professional photographer degree, which I have accomplished a few years ago. And this year actually I got my Master of Photography through Professional Photographers of America. Not only is it classes and education, but it's also, you have to submit images and they have to be approved. And it's pretty rigid, and it took me about 3 years to get through that whole process. So it was a long time coming, and I'm super proud and happy to be done with that and be able to put those letters after my name. Yeah, it's pretty humbling actually to be able to, look at your stuff and know that it's really acknowledged by other professionals. So I've won a couple awards within Professional Photographers of America, where my images have been on loan, which is a specification for the best of the best in competition. But I've also received 2 Hermes Awards, which is by the American Advertising Federation. So it's unique that a photograph would win something like that. It's usually video that wins, but I've been really fortunate to have great projects to work on with the UD images. That was one of them, and then the last one I got was for an industrial shot, actually. That was just kind of a really quick capture that it was like right place and time. Yeah. So I approach each shoot uniquely. Obviously, each client has different needs. So generally we start with a meeting, pre-production meeting, and we talk about what their use is going to be for it. What do they want to highlight? For instance, the photography with the car in the garage really wasn't about the car, it was more about the garage. But I was able to talk through with my client to kind of to let them know that by showing the car with the garage in the background, that we could highlight that garage through people's vision of seeing that car, driving into that garage or whatever. Walking into UD and then getting to see that gigantic image of that basketball player. It's moving every time I go. That was in partnership with Premier Health, actually, when we photographed that. And they had a vision, but it wasn't really clear what they wanted. So we talked through it and had a lot of meetings about what they wanted to convey, but also then I brought in ideas and concepts for them to kind of choose from. So we came to my studio here in Springboro and created these images. I had no idea they were going to be, the scale that they are, and so plentiful. I think I have 7 images throughout the arena, so it's really cool just to see it, so big, and people just walking by it and either looking at it themselves or just really not even paying attention. It's actually really neat to see. People can reach me on my website. It's kellyannphotos.com. They can also search for me on social media. Facebook and Instagram is Kelly Ann Photos. I'd like people to come in and when they view this this portfolio basically that we put together about the different aspects of photography. There's a lot of magic in it, right? And it's all very polished and looks really, really beautiful. But there's a lot of work behind the scenes as well, but just these concepts that we come up with are just so creative, and they really are, a different art form that we create in our studio. Yeah, I'm super proud. I'm so proud to be in this city with my studio. I've lived here for over 20 years. I've had a studio and operated out of here for 17 years, which is amazing to me. But I'm proud to be part of this city. I feel like the city itself, our Chamber of Commerce, just all the downtown historic businesses, everybody rallies together to pick each other up and really help us, thrive and be better.